There, I got all the solar panels up installed on the roof, and this is how it looks. So it's fairly good coverage, and there's a nice little path in the middle there that I can walk if I need to go in and do something, connect or whatever. Oh, here is a view from the coop with a house with the new panels on there. And I'll just zoom in a little bit. I think they look kind of cool. My first intention with getting the solar panel up on the roof of the main house was to connect it to like this grid tie inverter and just have like all what I could produce go to what I use, and if I use too little then I buy the extra from the power company, and if I use or if I produce more then I could sell it back. And we are going to get installed a new box from the electrical company that would allow us to do this. So this is still an option, but it's not installed yet, so I haven't decided yet on what I will do. I'm exploring a couple of other options. The solar panels you see here, they are dedicated to charging this electric garden tractor. And recently, I've used the ones on the house to charge the UTV, which has worked great. And I'm thinking in the winter it will probably not produce too much, because the sun is gone completely here for around 3 months in the winter. So the payback will be very little for an investment of that kind of inverter, or the grid tie inverter. So I found this used UPS boxes, which is an uninterrupted power supply they use in server rooms, and that one also will be able to work as an inverter if I can make them to work. So that's kind of like, I want to look into that, and if I can get a setup like that, then I can get a system that I like. I can charge the UTV, and hopefully then also with if I can fix the UPS, I can also charge the car, and that should pretty much with all the driving that's done. And also if I charge like tools, electric things, I think that should use up most of what I can produce. So I want to look into that option, and if it turns out that I'm producing more than what I consume, then I can look into maybe adding a grid tie inverter as well. Also, if I get more panels later on, that could be interesting. And then we can take it from there later. But for now, I think I'll go with charging a battery bank in the house. So I want to build a charging station which will receive solar input and have a charge controller, a little battery bank, and then all the chargers for all the different batteries that we use for the chainsaw and the drill and weed whacker and everything will then be able to be in the same charging station place. Also have some USB outlets so that guests and whoever can charge like phones or tablets, or portable battery banks that we use when we're out in the woods. So now I'm up at the barn, and I'm taking down the battery bank from there, because this solar array was originally, I was thinking to charge the battery bank in the barn and then charge this garden tractor from that bank. But it turns out that I just charge the tractor directly, and I don't use it for so long periods of time that I lose any significant power by not having the battery bank charged there. So it was just standing there and not being used. So I'm gonna try that one in the house, and it is let me take you over to the batteries and we can see it's like 6 volts batteries. So if I take the camera here and then go over, and I took them out. These are 6 volts each, and there is also 2 more that was not in this array because this tractor, it runs on 36 volts. So it was, everything here is set up for 36 volts. So I only needed 6 of these to make that array. But now in the house, I've gone back and forth between if I want to have 24 volt system or 48 volts, but with the inverters that are 24 volts, that kind of determines the setup, and it's so easy to change later on if I want that. So yeah, I'm gonna load these ones on the UTV and get them down to the house. All the batteries and the cables from the barn, they're loaded into the UTV. So I'll just close this one up and then go down to the house again with the with these ones and set them up. They are at about 75 amp hours each, and with a total of 8 of them, I add them all together, 6 volts each, which will give me 48 volts. And at 75 amps, that's about 3600 watts. I like to do most of what I can of calculations in watts and not amps, because then if I decide that I want a 24 or 48 or even 12 volt system, it's still the same amount of watts, even though the amps is changing. So yeah, I'll take these ones down. In this little corner here that's not used in the hallway, that's where it is room for adding like both a battery bank and a charging station. It is also easily to connect to the grid if I want to. On the other side of this wall, it is the main fuse for the house, so it's not long to connect in there, and also outside this wall it's very close to connect to the solar panels themselves. So I'll just have the wires coming in through the wall somehow, not decided yet, and build a little charging station table with a battery bank on this wall. And that will be an ongoing project for a little while, I think. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one as I go along. I did manage to get this old UPS of a used site on Finn, and the hope is that I can use this one to create a homemade inverter. This is the other inverter. I don't know if any of them work or how they will work, but as far as I can figure out, this one at least runs on 24 volts. So that's pro for building a 24 volt system. All the batteries from both of the inverters seems to be broken. They don't have any voltage left in them. But I do have someone looking at some of them that have an idea of how to fix them. And if he manages, maybe I can try to reproduce what he's doing and give a video of that process. Here is more of the batteries from the inverters. You can see some of them are really, I don't know, corroded. I don't think there's any hope at all for those ones. But these plugs, those can come in handy for other things.